This is Corey Williams from House of Sparky. I'm here with Cody Ulm, one of our very fantastic writers, and we're here to talk to you today about the ASU versus Arizona game that happens at 12:30 p.m. Arizona time on Saturday, January 19th. Cody has some bad news for Sun Devil fans. What are you thinking, Cody?
I hate to be that guy, but I do feel like the Sun Devils will not be able to pull this one out.
Oh,
Um,
seriously? Ugh.
I don't think it's any secret, but the Wildcats are an extremely talented team. A team that has struggled this season with inconsistencies, but a team that is far deeper than Arizona, or far deeper than Arizona State. Far more talented on a position by position basis, and I mean, I would as well as good of a job that Sendek's done this season. I think that Sean Miller still has done a better job with that Wildcats team when you take into consideration all the new influx of talent and the freshmen he's been dealing with.
Well, honestly, I agree with you on the fact that they have a really talented team. Their recruiting has been, how do you say it, insane since
Yeah.
I don't know, the last year and a half or so. But there's a couple things that are going against them. First of all, there is the hype train. ASU bandwagon is strong this year. We got, what is it, 14-3. You can't really argue with the results this far, even though the competition hasn't exactly been up to, a Duke standard. It's been really good to see the team putting together wins on the home court. They've been doing it all season long. They have yet to lose, other than the one game against DePaul, which was a kind of a misnomer, and I think everyone would agree on that. I think this game has a special added influence with the Territorial Cup and Arizona being ranked so highly. And we just proved this weekend that we can compete with Oregon, who beat Arizona this week. So through the process of eliminating various things that have occurred over the recent past, the team only winning 10 games last year, they've added on a great new point guard, and they are ready to assert themselves as the best team in Arizona, bar none.
Well, I mean, I agree with a lot you just said. I look back at the upset last year in Tempe, and a lot of that was due to Paczynski going off, and I just simply think that the Wildcats aren't going to let that happen again. As good as Paczynski's been this season, he still goes through growing pains from time to time and can be taken out of the game if he is game planned against. He's often struggled with foul trouble this season, and behind him, they have Pativ, Jacobson. It's just not a very deep reserves. So if they get Baczynski in foul trouble, they're going to be hurting pretty bad.
I 100% agree with that as well. Honestly, if Baczynski isn't on the court, the team suffers greatly. I know Pativ can come forth and make a block or make a good set a good pick and create some opportunities, but he's not the player that you want on the court. Definitely, Baczynski's the guy, and like you said, if they focus on him, they hammer down low and they get some fouls early, there could be some serious issues going into half. But there is one person that has not been mentioned that is a big source of concern for Arizona, and I would say is Jahi Carson. Clearly the best point guard in the Pac-12 from a freshman perspective. He's come a long way since he started, and he will definitely look to shine, especially considering the local ties involved with playing Arizona, being a guy from Mesa who may not like Arizona to begin with, and so it could be a really interesting game to watch him go forth.
Well, the issue is that Carson's biggest strength is running and pushing the ball and spreading it out, but that plays right into the Wildcats' hand. So if we're going to get into a fast-paced game like that, the Wildcats will just run us out of the gym. I mean, Arizona State probably goes 7 deep, 8 deep on a good day. I mean, there were some big contributions from guys like Jonathan Gillen and Chris Colvin last year in the reserves, but they're literally going to 1 from 7 have to get contributions across the board because this Wildcat team can score and they can score quick.
Well, that's the thing about Carson. He doesn't just run hard. He breaks you down with a dribble drive, crossovers. Your ankles are in half as he lays up the ball into the hoop. I know that you really want to see him dunk it, and I don't think it's going to happen today or on Saturday. I'm sorry, but to be honest with you, he's not just a running guy. He creates off the dribble. He does things that I haven't seen anyone do in Tempe in a really long time. I remember when James Harden would play for ASU, he was really deliberate. He was one of the slowest basketball players I've ever seen, but he waited until he saw the opportunity and he just blew by somebody. And I think Carson has a lot of that. And I think if it comes to the point where we're trying to slow down the game and bring our 7-man off team to play up to snuff against Arizona. Carson's the guy to lead us to that.
I have to agree with that. But the thing is, too, I mean, like you said, it's going to come down to slowing down the game, stopping Arizona in the half court. Arizona's a team that has a hard time setting up plays in the half court set. And so if you can get them slow it down, make them run out the shot clock, they're going to get misses, and Arizona or ASU can take advantage of that.
Yeah, and you're probably right. I mean, this is not a favorable matchup for Arizona State. There's too much talent on the other side. But as we've seen, Territorial Cup, there's never really, like a big difference between teams, regardless of the actual talent on the court or on the field. I mean, this is kind of a thing that's been happening for years. Like last year, we had no business beating that Arizona team.
Absolutely, though. That's all it's going to come down to is getting up big, stopping them quickly, because this is a team that we've seen with Arizona. They did it to Florida. They did it to Colorado. They'll come back in the last 5 minutes. They catch fire. But if we can build up a big enough lead, play solid defense, anything's possible. I certainly wouldn't be surprised if it happened. I'm just, as a betting man, I can't take the Devils in this one.
Yeah, I know your wallet's hurting these days from all the from betting against ASU. No, I'm just kidding. But they do need to work on their free throws. I mean, that's absolutely ridiculous to me. I'm sure Herb's got them out there shooting right now at the weather up. So I don't think that'll be a concern moving forward. But if it is, then we know what the root cause is, and that's basically they need to be running for about 10 minutes and then practicing free throws while their breath's heavy, they're sweating. That's the kind of thing that you don't always see. But that's the biggest problem with this team. And I think that just saying that is a big improvement over what's happened lately in the team's history. So
Yeah. Free throws is the worst thing I could take it, I think.
yeah, I think so. It reminds me of UConn teams, and they won the national championships at some point, shooting really low percentages. So
I mean, a lot of college basketball teams can succeed in spite of that. But I mean, a lot of times too, with especially when you got the short bench like ASU, you need those free throws, you need those opportunities because you're not getting the contributions off the bench. There's not those eighth or ninth guys coming off the bench contributing like 5 or 8 points a game. So you got to get every bucket at the charity strike.
yeah, you're definitely right, and that's really a good point. And I wanted to apologize to you about the Broncos game. I know that you were really upset. Have you cried everything out? Are you good to go?
Yeah, I mean, I think an upset this Saturday would make it all feel a lot better.
Yeah, Joe Flacco broke my heart this week. So I was cheering for the Broncos too. My girlfriend kept yelling swear words at me, so I wasn't really. So either way, that's all for now. And go Arizona State this Saturday. If you have any questions about where to see the game, it is actually going to be on national television. I'm thinking it's ESPN. Is that right, Cody?
I believe it's FSN actually.
You know what? Fox Sports Net. I apologize. So, anyways, go Devils. We'll see you on the other side.